Love doesn't always follow the rules. And sometimes, it's the people closest to us that we're told we can't love. This is Culpa Tuya, a powerful story of forbidden romance between two step siblings, torn apart by family, trauma, and betrayal. But was their love a beautiful mistake? Or the only real thing they ever had? After a year apart, Nick finally returns to Spain. He had been sent to intern in San Francisco, an intentional move by their parents to end his romance with Noah, his stepsister. But the love never died. On Noah's 18th birthday, he surprises her, not just with a new car, but with something far more intimate, a beachside villa, just for the two of them. In addition to parental disapproval, the 5-year age gap was also a big obstacle. Noah was about to enter college and was ready to have fun. Nick, meanwhile, was busy with his work and was interning abroad. His friend Lion warned Nick that Noah would become more independent. The distance would ruin everything. This put a lot of pressure on Nick. After the graduation ceremony, Nick gave Noah an electric purple sports car. Noah was so happy that he uttered incoherent words. He pressed the gas pedal and took Nick around. Nick then took Noah to a luxurious beach house, which was a gift from his grandfather. The luxury of the rich always makes Noah feel happy and confused at the same time. Nick said that he would not return to San Francisco. He would stay in Spain for an internship because he could not bear to be separated from Noah. But at home, they had to hide from their parents. This villa would be their secret base, and soon, it starts to show. Noah thought that Nick was asking him to live with him, and was confused about how to ask his mother's permission. However, when he found out that Nick did not mean it, Noah was very embarrassed and just left. Noah then asked his close friend Jenna, who had known Nick for a long time, why Nick seemed scared when he heard about living together. Jenna explained that Nick had been traumatized since his mother left him. He had always had difficulty committing. Noah felt her caution for Nick and approached him without pressuring him. To encourage her daughter to socialize with peers, her mother, Rafaela, rented a shared apartment near campus. Her roommate was a red-haired girl named Briar. Rafaela earnestly asked her daughter to break up with Nick. Once their relationship was revealed, people would make bad comments about them, such as first mother, then daughter, marrying lasters for money. In addition, Rafaela is worried that Nick could harm her daughter because Nick used to like racing and illegal fighting. However, Noah, who is already fascinated, ignores his mother's prohibition. Rafaela and Nick's father, William, do not remain silent. They bring in a rival. When Nick interned at his father's law firm, William arranged for a young lawyer named Sophia to be his mentor. Sophia is the daughter of the Minister of Justice. She met Nick as a child, but rarely interacted with him, and even belittled Nick because she heard that Nick was a womanizer and a spendthrift. Worried that Noah would be jealous, Nick deliberately told Noah that Sophia was ugly, smelly, and difficult to get along with. One day, Nick's half-sister came to visit them. However, when his sister came home, the person Nick didn't want to see the most came. His mother, Annabelle, begged to talk to him. However, Nick, who was angry at his mother for leaving him, immediately left by car. Noah didn't know how to comfort him, but gave him a kiss. At their secret base, Nick marked Noah's body with love bites. Noah didn't like being marked, so he drew something all over Nick's body with a pen. Finally, he wrote, "You are mine," on his wrist. Nick, who was happy, took Noah back to his apartment. However, when he saw Noah's roommate, Briar, Nick was almost shocked. He stuttered that he had to leave immediately. In his anxiety, Nick bumped into a shelf and didn't realize that his phone had fallen. It turned out that Briar was Nick's ex-girlfriend. 3 years ago, Nick took Briar to an illegal race, but there was an accident. Nick was not injured, but Briar, who was sitting in the passenger seat, was seriously injured. She was taken to Nick's family hospital for treatment. Although Briar survived, she lost the baby she was carrying. Nick was then sent abroad by his grandfather and was not told about Briar's pregnancy and injuries. To prevent Nick from feeling guilty, his grandfather told him that Briar had broken up with him and she was hospitalized in a mental hospital for 2 years. Nick did not suspect a thing and soon found new love. The fight left an open wound. That day, Noah takes Nick to the animal shelter to adopt a black kitten. Standing in front of Noah's apartment, Nick hesitates to enter until he realizes Briar is not there. However, as they are making out, Briar appears with a knife. She smirks and says she just wanted to cut the tag off his shirt. Nick runs away in panic. Briar tells Noah about her tragic ordeal. Noah only knew her ex-boyfriend was a jerk, but she didn't know it was Nick. The next day, Nick's mother shows up at Noah's apartment uninvited. To Noah's surprise, Annabelle and Briar talk harmoniously, as if they know each other very well. Annabelle begs Noah to help her. She claims that Nick's family lied, and what she learned was not the truth. This makes Noah waver, but he doesn't want to betray Nick, so he kicks his mother out. At dusk, Noah returns to the Leicester family's house for dinner. Unexpectedly, Sophia's family shows up. The two families are deliberately trying to set Nick and Sophia up. At the dinner table, the elders deliberately brought up a legal case, which sparked a heated discussion between Nick and Sophia. Noah knew nothing about it and couldn't interrupt. Seeing them talking affectionately, Noah became jealous. Coupled with his low spirits, he rebelled a little. He announced in public that Nick wanted him to live with him. Everyone was really shocked. His mother apologized for Noah's rudeness, saying that it was the anniversary of Noah's father's death. But even in her arms, Noah couldn't escape the memory of Nick's touch. A year ago, Noah was kidnapped by his own father and saw him shot dead by the police. Since then, he has been traumatized and has nightmares every night. After knowing this, Nick became very nervous. He dropped his kitchen knife. He went to Noah's father's grave and found it. He explained that there was nothing between him and Sophia. It was all just a fabrication of their parents. However, Noah no longer believed him. After all, Nick once said Sophia was ugly, but it wasn't true. His lies only made Noah feel like a baby who needed to be protected. When confronted by his girlfriend, Nick swore that he had nothing to hide from her. The next day, after everyone had left the mansion, Noah secretly let Nick's mother in. Annabelle asked Noah to open a hidden compartment in the drawer, where Annabelle's lawsuit for Nick's custody was kept. It turned out that Annabelle never wanted to leave her son, but she couldn't compete with Nick's grandfather and his powerful legal team. Secrets were revealed, chipping away at the foundation of their love. Besides, she did have an affair with someone else. Nick's grandfather used it to blackmail him and take Nick away. However, she was not the only one at fault. Long before she divorced Nick's father, Noah's mother had an affair with him. Noah was so shocked that he couldn't recover for a long time. Noah felt guilty and finally decided to help his mother. Nick's mother took out a letter containing all the truth in it. She asked Noah to send it to Nick. Noah went to the lawyer's office with trepidation. He was about to leave the letter on Nick's desk, but Nick knocked on the glass, causing the letter to fall to the floor. Before he could pick it up, Sophia appeared out of nowhere. Nick immediately noticed the letter on the floor. Jealousy reared its ugly head, fueled by misunderstandings. When Noah panicked, Sophia came to his rescue, lying that a postman had just given him the letter. Nick irritably tore the letter. Fortunately, after work, Nick's mood changed for the better. He took Noah to dinner by the beach and gave him a blue rose. However, that was not the most romantic part. She tattooed the mark Noah had drawn on her arm earlier, proving that she would always be his. Noah was deeply touched. Nick told her that he would be going on a business trip to London with Sophia for a few days to work on a case. Noah supported her, but he had a strange feeling, as if this was a goodbye. After a few days of working together briefly in London, Sophia, who initially looked down on Nick, changed her mind. They worked together and won the lawsuit. Overjoyed, Nick hugged her and kissed her cheek. This made Sophia's heart beat faster, and her face turned red. Unbeknownst to them, someone secretly took a photo of them. And this was the first step in Briar's revenge plan. When she found out that Michael, the counselor, was interested in Noah, she planned to use him to push Nick over the edge. She deliberately invited Michael to her apartment and tried to get him and Noah drunk. Then Briar pretended to be drunk and went back to her room, leaving Michael and Noah alone. Michael took the opportunity to try to kiss Noah, but he cleverly dodged it. She made an excuse and kicked him out the door. However, Michael didn't give up and tried to kiss her again. This intimate scene was caught by Nick. Nick misunderstood, and a heated argument broke out between them. Noah felt like the only one pressured to be with Nick, but Nick was treated like a god by everyone, and they even offered him Sophia. Her mother pressured her to break up with Nick every now and then. The two are so stubborn that neither one of them bows down first. they simply start living their separate lives. Noah's voice echoes in Nick's mind as he grips the steering wheel, tires screeching into the first curve. His eyes flick to the rearview mirror. Ronnie's car is gaining fast. A week later, the annual company gala is being held. Noah and her mother start styling early in the morning. Nick lies that he left his wallet in his apartment and has to go out to get it. But in reality, he's going to take part in a car race to help a friend. Lyon's auto repair shop is doing poorly and on the verge of closing. However, he has an extremely strong sense of pride. He refuses help from his wealthy girlfriend and doesn't want Nick's handouts either. Previously, to make money, he had gotten into trouble for transporting cocaine to the gangsters. To save him, Noah and Nick had a big fight with the gangsters and were arrested and taken to the police station. Fortunately, Sophia bailed them out. Noah pleaded with Nick to stop doing this illegal stuff. When those gangsters almost stabbed him just now, her heart was in her mouth. Nick had promised her he'd never do anything dangerous again. But when he hears that Ronnie will be racing, he has to go. A year ago, Ronnie was sentenced to prison for helping Noah's father kidnap her. But when he gets out of jail, he tries to settle the score with Noah. Nick is determined to send him back to prison. However, to Nick's surprise, Noah is also a runner. At the referee's signal, dozens of sports cars roar down the road chasing after one another. The event was a grand affair at the Leicester family home. Guests wore ties, glittering evening gowns, and classical music played from a grand piano in the corner. Meanwhile, Noah, in his shiny black car, accelerates furiously, passing his competitors. He's not just racing to beat his friend Lion, he's racing to stop Ronnie himself. This race is no longer about pride or proving herself, it's about justice. Let's finish this, together. As the finish line neared, Ronnie pushed his car too hard. The engine overheated, smoke billowed. A violent jolt. His car went off the track and hit a police car, blocking the race. The event was a grand affair at the Leicester family home. Guests wore ties, glittering evening gowns, and classical music played from a grand piano in the corner. Nick told Noah that Noah knew Briar was Nick's ex. Briar suddenly left the party, seemingly disappointed in the two of them. Briar returns to the party. "You think you're the only one with secrets, Nick?" Turns out Briar brought Nick's mom Annabelle to the party to reveal everything. Nick's mother, Mrs. Leicester, finally spoke. In a calm but emotionally charged voice, she said, "We all agreed to never talk about this. For your sake, for the sake of the family name. But the truth can't be hidden forever. We can't run from the sins of the past forever. A secret relationship, a betrayal, and the possibility that Nick and Noah, not just half-brothers but maybe blood brothers." The film continues in a sequel titled Culpa Nuestra, Our Fault. In this film, Noah and Nick not only fight to save their love, but also to reveal who they really are, fighting the past and determining a future that may no longer be together.